All right, we are back. This is the Freezer Podcast. I have Andrew and Colin with me today. Matt wasn't able to make the show today, so we're going to still keep giving him a hard time for that. The guy's kind of busy, with a little one and some dogs, and the wife is on vacation, so hopefully she's having a fun vacation. We're talking a little bit of OTAs, but now we're going to talk about these two guys right here. The guys that go sit by my fridge and my stove. And now they're on the
freezer. Turn that stove on.
We're gonna have them right here. We're gonna get you guys a little bit of a get to know you with Colin and Andrew because they're pretty big on this show and they do a lot of work here. So we'll jump right into the Frozen forecast. So guys, if you had to pick like one, Matt and I've already kind of talked about this, but what really got you into being a Packer fan?
Well, for me, I was obviously, you guys said on the show before, is you're just born into it. And that's one of the big things is my parents and my family were always massive Packer fans. We would go over to my uncle's house or we'd throw the party every Sunday, just have a big feast, watch the game, hang out afterward. And it just kind of grew from there. And then when I got older, I got into more and more. I remember around 2010 when they won the Super Bowl, I was just ecstatic. I was graduating high school.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, let's go. I'm going to get this Packers victory and then graduate from high school and go off my way.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. Colin?
I was more of a late bloomer when it came into it. Like growing up, my dad was a really big Packer fan. He was the guy that's on his knees screaming and yelling at the TV every week, and I enjoyed it. I sat there and watched. There was actually I don't remember what year it was, but there was a year that I was a Bears fan, and my dad's like, "Hey, as long as you can name one player, that's fine, but you have to name at least one player." So it was like the rebellious years, but I didn't really get into it until more of like my high school years.
Okay.
Because I was always like a big kind of baseball guy. I always liked it, but I never really dove into it until like high school years when I finally got out of the Bears way or whatever. Mm-hmm. So finally saw the light, got really into Packers, and just kind of went from there. Now I'm the guy that's standing in front of my TV, screaming and yelling, crying about.
That's kind of how it goes into. You get indoctrinated into it, and you kind of just, I hope to do that with my kids someday, and that's just how it is here in Green Bay, and that's in Wisconsin, and just Packer Nation everywhere.
What's that saying? You're born with the blood of green and gold in you.
Yeah, I've always said that. Matt and I've always said this, and don't take any offense to this, guys, because you're not from here, but Green Bay Packer fans compared to Packer fans are a whole different breed.
It's a different breed, for
sure. If you've been born into this city and you smelt the different grills and, tailgatings and, like, all the different smells that you can have on a Packer Sunday and, just the aura and the feel when you hear the Jets go over across your, in your backyard. You run outside just to hear the Jets go over. It's a whole different kind of impact compared to, if you live in like Wausau or something and you're like, oh yeah, it's Packer Sunday. Okay. I mean, I'm not trying to challenge anybody being a Packer fan because you know what? We're all Packer fans and that's awesome. And I don't care what, if you're a bigger one than me or if I'm a bigger one than you, we're all Packer fans here. That's all that matters. But I just kind of felt like when you're from Green Bay, there's a little bit more than just, everywhere else. But either way, let's talk about the Packers. Freezer forecast here. If the Packers are 500 or below this season, is this Rodgers' last year in Green Bay?
No. He will play out the rest of his contract here.
I hope
I could see if it's that way, they may look earlier to draft a quarterback. They might look next year or they might look the year after. I think if they're 500, it's because they're not used to they're not acclimated to the new offense yet.
I'll play a little devil's advocate here. I think they're about 500, so they're between like 7 and 9 or whatever. I think he stays, but I think if they have like a losing season, if they have 5 wins or less, I think that he might just be like, I've got 3 years after this, whatever it is. He might demand a trade at that point. He's gonna have all the media because we all know that the Cowherds, the Stephen A. Smiths, the Baylesses of the world.
So the idiots of the world.
The idiots of the world, but the loud ones. We all know that if the Green Bay Packers go 5 wins or lower, they're going to be like, Rodgers, get out of town because you're not gonna win anytime soon. That's what it tells me is back-to-back years of
It's been 3 years now.
Of little wins, nowhere to go. We're not going to win anytime soon. If I'm Aaron, I may say, no, I would like a trade out of here.
So my thought about this is when you go and make a pretty big splash in free agency, and it wasn't anything on the offensive side, I mean, except for obviously Billy Turner, but when you look at the draft picks that we made, obviously on the defense, that to me was an answer to a cry for the last 4, 5, 6 years, where we've put so much on Aaron Rodgers for such a long time, and we haven't had a good defense, since
the Super Bowl year.
Pretty much, like a defense that you could rely on. How about that? Like, there's
Yeah.
been good defenses, there've been good players, there've been good positions that have played well, but as a collective group, it's been a while, and I think this was the moment where you have a good, like, general in charge with Pettine, and who can lead you to a promising, like defensive side of things. I think that's where I think Brian Gutekunst, I don't know if they've ever had that conversation. I don't think he needs to have that conversation because he just handles the roster. But the fact is, you brought a guy that can scheme up pretty much whatever you want. He's been in 3 systems as an offensive mind that can figure out that we do have the talent already. Let's just get him a new system that wasn't so old, that was outdated from 2011, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is, no, I don't think he's going to ask for a trade. I don't think he's going to stick with the program because you know what? If it isn't after this year, the next year will be the most interesting one. Because if you had one more year under your belt under the LaFleur system, you have everything kind of acclimated. Maybe you do go get a couple, offensive things in free agency or the draft next year, and you still don't figure it out. I think next year, 2020, where you only have 1 year left on the contract after that 2020 season, that might be an interesting year to see if they draft a quarterback or if they go and just try to trade for some, draft picks. Because obviously, guess who comes out that year? Mr. Clemson himself.
That's your boy.
Mr. I mean,
Well, he's got a couple of. But like next year's draft, I guess, is QB heavy. Though.
well, yeah, it is. But, you got to have a top 5 pick. And I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to be like, if we're at 5 wins by like week, here's the thing. I mean, you looked at the schedule, right? We had like 6 home games in the first like 10 games. So I can't imagine us losing all those home games. And even the ones that are away, they're not like, there's some like just gimme ones that you probably could win, right? So I just can't see us just folding over and then just saying, hey, let's just, let's pack it in for, Tua Vailoa, or whoever they want, So, so moving on, who can chug better than Rodgers, Brady or Kaiser?
Brady or Kaiser?
Or Boyle or Kaiser. Sorry.
Boyle.
Boyle. I read it wrong. I'm sorry.
Tim Boyle's chugging PBR nonstop. I could see him doing that.
Where's Tim Boyle from?
I don't know. I would have to look it up.
Kaiser's sipping that nice, soft Southern comfort.
If
He's
Tim
not
Boyle
chugging
is a country boy of any kind, or Southern states of any kind, I'm going Timmy Boyle.
I think it's Tim Boyle.
No, man, he's from Connecticut, so he's an East Coaster.
He's from Connecticut?
Oh, he's chugging that Sam Adams then.
Probably.
Oh, I don't know.
But I think. I don't know, man. The whole chugging. You know what? The guy had 2 MVPs. All right, he can sling a football better than Kaiser or Boyle. That's all I
We
care.
keep making fun of him, but half of us can't chug much better than that.
No,
I was watching. I'm like, that's me right there. That is
No,
me on.
I don't have a funnel for a throat, so I'm not gonna.
Chugging
Next
to the
question:
offensive line, okay.
Can Le'Veon Bell be comeback player of the year?
That I heard he was going to be a top front runner.
But can he? I don't know if he does he qualify?
That's what I'm saying. I was like, I don't think he should qualify
Because he just
held
chose
out on purpose. He didn't get hurt.
Yeah, he chose
to sit out for money.
I think
and he
there's
got
a
less
good.
money.
So, okay. Pick your guy then. Who's your comeback player of the year?
Oh jeez.
Who's even hurt? That's how much I know right now.
Demaryius Thomas. Is he playing?
My
Is
God.
Demaryius Thomas playing?
All right, both of you just.
Can he play? Can
Next
Demaryius
question.
Thomas play?
Yeah, I know, probably not. I
If he
mean,
can,
he's just
it's
overcoming
him.
an ACL injury, so he
Brady,
probably won't be back
him and
until
Brady. Him and Brady. Demaryius Thomas.
I'm gonna say Jimmy G, comeback player of the year.
Yeah, I'll go with that one, Jimmy G.
All right, what was Is the NFL rigged for the Drew Brees game?
For the longest time, yes.
I
listened
hate
to
this question.
I listened to so many people.
For the people that think the NBA is rigged and
Is the NFL rigged for the Drew Brees? What?
for Drew Brees, because look at
this guy can't get it. Can't catch a break. If they didn't do that
No.
onside kick, they would have probably lost that Colts game
up
too.
until like that last moment, the NFL seemed rigged for Drew Brees. The Ravens game, where they have one of, if not the best kicker in the game, who hardly ever misses some magical field goal that they needed to win, rigged. There's so many other instances that
I don't know. I'm not
I
going
want
to.
to see.
It's too hard to tell. Like
And then
someone's
skeptics
trying or
are
not
gonna
trying.
do
So many people came at the NFL. They're like, okay, maybe.
First off,
maybe
Colin,
they
you realize this is a very special moment for you to be in the hot
You're
seat right
bringing up
here.
conspiracy
You
theories. that
you
make
might
no
be going right back
sense.
towards the freezer right
We
now.
don't have Matt. We need more content.
Okay,
That's what
all
I'm
right.
You're
saying.
bringing up conspiracy theories.
All right, here we go. Let's see here.
Not easy being the questionnaire. Huh?
No, it really isn't. Okay, so in this question here, 12 games. Who do you think you're going to get it from, Bulaga or King?
Oh man, I would much Bulaga. I'd rather have 12 games from Bulaga. I think when he's on the field and he's playing, he's one of the best right tackles in the game. He helps solidify the right side that we haven't had because he's been injured for so long. But I think 12 solid games I would much rather have 12 games from Bulaga than Kevin King.
So that's what you would want, but what do you think will actually happen?
Bulaga will get hurt week 4. Kevin King will get hurt week 6.
Andrew?
If I had to choose, I honestly think this is Kevin King's step up year.
I hope so,
I
man.
think he's going to be ready.
Forever tied with
And I
TJ
hope
Watt.
so. I hope
Forever
so. He
tied.
will be.
Oh.
That hurts for Packer fans because I know a lot of people are angry when they took him
Instead of
instead of Watt.
Yeah.
So I think you'll get 12 games easily from him this year because you got Tramon Williams. That's obviously like we were talking before. He's in front of him right now, but that could motivate Kevin King. All right, let's get healthy. Let's eat right. I just guarantee he's eating right. He just needs to get his knees is his problem, right? He always sprains his knee or his
He has a shoulder issue. I mean, it's kind of everything, man. The guy has a shoulder injury, he has a groin injury. I mean, this guy's he's made of glass. So
when he has played, he has shown the potential to be a top cornerback, at least on this team.
well, yeah. I mean, he's a good aggressive. He doesn't have a fear to tackle, which is nice to see. He doesn't. He can play the ball really well. He can play with the bigger receivers with his frame. So the guy's got so much potential. It's just a matter of just being on the
Staying
field.
healthy.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Kevin King.
All right. So, all right. Well, the Packers have had. I don't know. Let's just see here. We've had probably how many hometown heroes in the not hometown, but just heroes. You had Kuhn. You had Jordy. You had I don't even know. Maybe Bubba Franks. I don't remember.
Don't get
But,
me started about Frank.
Oh,
Who's the Packers' next hero? And if you say touchdown Jesus, I will never bring you back on the show.
I will never say that.
Okay, go on.
Jair Alexander is going to be the next big thing.
Aw.
Okay.
That man has a swagger to him that you have not seen in a green gold since Santana Dotson.
Okay.
Like
All
that.
right.
Like I'm good, and I know I am good. Like I'm gonna say him.
Damn. I was gonna go with Aaron Jones, so you said Jairi, but I'm gonna go Aaron Jones.
Okay.
Just because the running back position's been so weird lately. Lacey was good, and then all of a sudden Lacey got fat, and then
The fat boy Lacy.
Packer fans just turned real fast on him. And then Ty Montgomery comes in. It's like, yes, Ty, we finally got this guy. We got this number 88 rocking running back. And then he has that play last year. Flip the script, switch on him. I think if Aaron Jones can just keep it together or whatever he needs to do, he's been a great community presence so far. He's been great for everybody in the stands. I think Aaron Jones is the next guy.
I'm gonna go with what has kind of been the
If you
The
say
trend.
touchdown Jesus, I swear, they're gonna find a new host.
No, I'm the only one who can say that. I'm picking a guy that, first off, I'm picking a white guy because, you know what, that's just kind of how it goes. You know, Jordy was like just this guy. And then, you know, I'm going to go with David Bakhtiari because, first off, the guy can drink, so that's Wisconsin related.
Hello.
He's already a hero that way.
Next change, De Beer is the next one.
Okay, yeah, but he has to make the team first, all right? So let's pick a guy that we know is a lock for September. I think the guy he protects our favorite player, the city's favorite player, the city's, you know, I guess demigod,
Yeah.
he's the one thing that is closest to Aaron Rodgers or closest to, I mean, he didn't play with Brett Favre, but to keep the one thing that is going to keep us any kind of hope to get a Super Bowl back in
He
Green Bay.
literally protects him.
So, and you know what? The love that he has for him and how much he sticks up for him. You even see him go to Kentucky to the Derby and stuff. He has his back for all the, in the media and even on the field. And you know what? That's what Wisconsin's all about. We're a blue collar town where, the people closest to us, we have their backs. We stick up for them. We go and have a beer when we're done with work, or we go, when a Packer game's on, we have a beer, sort of thing. And then what? He personifies, what Green Bay is and what Wisconsin is, and so it's good, and I love it. And
honestly, that's easily probably the best person you can choose.
Yeah.
Your answer is probably the best. That's more realistic, because you have Bills Mafia. You're gonna have Bakhtiari Mafia. You're gonna have people in front of Lambeau
the funny
Stadium
thing is he just
chugging brews.
The problem is I don't know if you're gonna get that kind of response because he doesn't catch a football in the end zone. He doesn't.
You don't notice.
He doesn't get a sack and then do the predator. He's just the guy that is a grinder in the line, and then he just You never have to worry about it. You're not talking about him just like Joe Thomas was for so long in Cleveland. You never had to worry about that side. You never worried about a penalty or anything that happened over there or someone going in and fighting with someone else.
The definition of consistency.
Absolutely. So, I hope he does. I hope Freezer fans can maybe throw him in their top hero of Wisconsin, I guess, for the guy that wears green and yellow. So, we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Beautiful
But
69 long flowing locks.
Big dude, white dude. I can't wait till on the board they have the Bakhtiari challenge as they're scrolling over the stands.
that actually,
And
I
have the
guarantee
fans
you,
just
the
pound
chugging
one back,
challenge,
yep.
absolutely. And they're gonna probably have I wish they would do that in football games where they have sections. I know that other teams have different areas in the end zone where they can go, and then there's a specific player's area, but. In the Bucks, you already know.
Squad 6.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's got to be some sort of 69 area for Packer fans because that's
Section
just
69.
It's actually 69. That, and then they have to all chug it. It's
Third
just,
quarter, they all
imagine
give
if
it
it's
up
just a
beer.
bunch of 60, 70 year olds what we're supposed to chug. Only one guy can.
Yes.
So yeah, hopefully we can get that kind of a trend in Green Bay because you know what? That's what everybody wants. That's why that video gets retweeted 100,000 times because you know what? That's Wisconsin and that's what we love to see from our players in green and gold. So that's all we got, folks. We had a nice quick episode. We're still gonna pour one out for Matt. He's the guy that couldn't be here today, but we had these two guys, these two star pupils of mine because you know what? We're all going to be student teaching in a semester here.
Yep.
We're all going to be becoming the teachers of the future. It's going to be a nervous time for us, but you know what? This is a cool thing for you guys to get on the mic, in front of a camera, talk to our Freezer fans out there. And what do you guys think? Do you guys like this over here? Do you like being at the head table here?
The round
It's
table.
crazy.
Yeah. The freezer table?
The freezer table? Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I think we should maybe do an episode like this and have Matt on him. I'm not Matt on your side.
Oh, absolutely. We'll just throw the
It's
four of
all
us.
of us
Yeah,
and just-
absolutely. We can
yeah.
do it. We can make it work.
With
Quincy
chat,
knows how to get the cameras on all of us,
Yeah,
make us look
Sunday.
beautiful.
By the
As
way,
long-
big shout out to Quincy. Last episode, he just edited beautifully.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was
Yeah.
so good.
I mean, if obviously on the iTunes side, it was a little rough on the audio. We apologize, but if you guys are watching the YouTube channel, which you should be, and you should be subscribing below and smashing that like button, you'll see a really good edit of our show last week with Mr. Thurston himself, Fred. And, it's cool. We're going to keep pumping up content for you guys. June 18th. Mark it on your calendar because right there, we are locked in. I'm going to tell you this right now. If someone tells me they can't do it, I'm going to look absolutely stupid. But June 18th, we have breaking news for you. We have a very amazing episode for you guys. I'm going to keep teasing it. You know what? Because I want to make sure you guys are really wanting to know what's happening. June 18th, get ready for an amazing show. So, for the Freezer Podcast, I'm Sanjay.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Colin.
Go Pack Go.
Day ones, no time for fake ones. Got me, I got you. All dreams they come true. Stay down till the end. Need me, I need them. Whole team.